Despite the plagues of Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea, and various other wonders and miracles, Moses did show some concern for the giant from the land of Canaan known as Og, the king of Bashan. However, there is a side to this king that is less known. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do help us by subscribing and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss any of our new videos. He possesses an ancient book that is kept secret from most people. Very few people know about the existence of this book. This topic is explained in detail in this video, so if this content is relevant to you, please help us by leaving a like and sharing it with others. This video is another in a series that talks about the ancient giants described in the Bible, the forbidden book of the king of giants Og. Between 1940 and his 1950s, a large number of documents written on ancient scrolls were discovered in the Judean region. Approximately 900 scrolls were unearthed, some in better condition than others. These texts are called the Dead Sea Scrolls, and were discovered in the caves of Cuman, where the Jewish community of ancient Essin lived. These documents contain the oldest known Old Testament. For the uninitiated, the Dead Sea Scrolls are the oldest recorded version of the Bible related to the Old Testament. In addition to the books now considered canonical in the Old Testament, various other books and scrolls have been discovered, including the ancient Book of Enoch, which is mentioned and quoted several times in the New Testament. Also discovered was the ancient Book of Jubilee, an ancient Jewish collection containing many commandments and teachings not found in the text of Genesis. Also worth noting are discoveries such as the Book of the Ancient Giants, a fascinating and mysterious document, and the Book of his Og, King of the Giants. According to the Aramaic Hebrew Bible, the Og king of Bashan was a ruler of giant origin, belonging to the tribe of Raz, a lineage of giants. He ruled over the Amorites in the land of Bashan, and his army was defeated by Moses and his men in the Great Battle of Edrei. In Arabic literature, the Og king is often referred to as Enoch, translated as Og son of Enoch. He is mentioned in the Quran in connection with the stories of the prophet, but there are not many specific details about him. However, in Judeo-Christian tradition, Og is known as the king of the Amorites, and is mentioned in both the Hebrew Bible and the Christian Old Testament. Og, king of the repeat giants, is introduced in the Book of Numbers as a fearsome ruler of the giants who ruled over the Amorites. One of his previously defeated neighbors was the Canaanite king of Heshbon, whom Moses defeated at the Battle of Heshbon. The Siam kingdom originally extended from the torrent valley of the Jabbok River, bordering the reign of King A, to the torrent valley of Arnon, and east of the Jordan River to the desert. The capital was Essin, located east of the northern tip of the Dead Sea. Siam seems to have occupied the land of Moab north of the Arnon River and ruled Midian. For the leaders of Midian were called the princes of Siam. When Israel sent messengers to Canaan to ask for permission to travel the royal road through the kingdom, and to promise not to take anything from the Amorites, Siam refused permission, and sent his army against Israel. Mobilized, he was defeated and killed in jihad. Og was a king of the Amorites and ruler of Bashan, who owned 70 walled cities and many unwalled cities. Their capital was Ashtoreth. Ashtoreth is an important city in Bashan dedicated to the goddess Arto, and is often mentioned in the Bible as a place of pagan worship. Bashan, known as the stoneless fertile plain, first appears in Genesis 14:5, where Rama and his allies defeat the Rephaims at Asarim, ruled by Og, the king of Bashan. It is a place of biblical importance. When Israel entered the Promised Land, the Og tried to resist but was completely defeated. Numbers 21:33-35, Deuteronomy 3:1-7. This region extended from Gilead in the south to Mount Hermon in the north, from the Jordan River in the west to the Catholic Sea in the east, and halfway up Gilead. It was assigned to the tribe of Har of Manasseh. Joshua 13:29-31. Golan, one of the cities of Bashan, became a city of refuge. Joshua 21:27. The Argob of Bashan was one of the counties under Solomon's control. 1 Kings 4:13. The city of Bashan was conquered by Hagiel. 2 Kings 10:32-33. But was quickly recaptured by Josh, 2 Kings 13:25, as Elisha prophesied. Josh defeated the Syrian in 3 fights. Since then, Bashan has all but disappeared from history. but stories still remain about the wild flocks that grazed his fertile land. Ezekiel 39:8, Psalm 22:12, his oaks of the forest. Isaiah 2:13, Ezekiel 27:6, Zechariah 11:2, and the beauty of its vast plains. Amos 4:1, Jeremiah 50:19. After the initial conquest, the name Gilead came to refer to the entire area beyond the Jordan River. After his exile, Bashan was divided into his 4 districts, as recorded in Numbers 21 and Deuteronomy 3. Moses feared Og, the king of Bashan, because of his great stature. In ancient times, when they went to the land of Bashan, the Og and his army attacked them at Edrei. But the Lord told Moses not to be afraid of the Og. This account shows Moses' fear of the Og, a topic discussed by many rabbis. Even after witnessing the plagues of Egypt, the parting of the sea, and many other wonders and miracles, Moses still had this fear of the Og. Now, regarding the ancient documents of the giant King Og, there are ancient documents discovered at Qumran along with the Dead Sea Scrolls. His origins date back some 2,000 years, but his writings, especially his stories, suggest even more distant origins. Here we present chapter 7 of the old book, King of Giants, and highlight some scriptures to give you some insight into this ancient document. It is important to note that the text is severely damaged, so you can only read part of it to know what the book is about. In chapter 7 of the old book, the last words of the giant king are spoken to Moses. Worm of Israel, why do you think I was not on the great mountains above the waters that covered the flooded mountains? You have never touched the sky, and have never been more than 2 cubic meters taller than the tallest person. My purpose is to monitor your headquarters and see to your death. No earthly evil will guide me, as happened to Nimrod, the circumcised Nephilim worm. I am of Bashan, the greatest of the giants of this land. What can I do but prepare for my own death? So I ask you, Moses, are you ready to die? I saw you crawling toward the light. I saw your mother witness the death of a baby in Egypt. Is that why you came to war with me? So you want to go to war with me? You who have corrupted you, your God, your small and weak warriors. I will spit on your men, your warriors, who look like a swarm of ants gathered together. Lowes quotes this excerpt from his old book, King of Giants, can be interpreted in different ways, given the reference to Moses, the death of an Egyptian mother's baby, and the idea of Moses dragging himself into the light, can represent knowledge of God. Og's mention of mountains above the flood waters can be seen as confirmation that he survived the flood, suggesting that he was a giant who withstood the catastrophe. Leave your interpretation of this excerpt from the Og, King of the Giants book in the comments section. Analysis. In Deuteronomy 3:11 and later in Numbers and Joshua, is called the last giant king. The term Repam is of Semitic origin, probably found in Phoenician, Hebrew, and Aramaic, and has several meanings, including resurrected spirit or ghost. This term is used to describe one of his huge tribes that lived in the land of Canaan. Many are wondering how the exact size of Og, the king of giants, was able to be determined. This question is a no-brainer since Deuteronomy 3:11 states that the Og's bed was made of iron to support his weight. It was a huge and very heavy creature, about 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide, or about 18.6 feet long and 8 feet wide. So Og was a huge giant. From the dimensions of his bed, which some believe is where he slept, others say it was actually a sarcophagus, we can guess his size. Many believe that the famous bed of his Og, the king of Bashan, may simply be the bed on which his Og lay, and it became so famous in this region that it was even hidden in the cities of the land of Ammon. An interesting aspect to note is that in the area north of the Jabbok River or Bashan, the land of Lepi, there are hundreds of megalithic stone tombs called Dman, dating from the 5th millennium BC to his 3rd millennium EC. In 1918, archaeologists in Jordan discovered an amazing ancient dolmen that certainly matches the approximate dimensions of the famous bed of King Bashan Og as described in the Bible. These ancient rock-hewn tombs are rarely seen west of the Jordan River, and the only other location with a high concentration of these megaliths is on the Mount of Judah near Hain. Interestingly, the biblical text says that there was another giant race in the land of Hain called the Anakim, which means sons of those who fell from heaven, and that it is a direct allusion to Genesis 6, which refers to the fellowship of sons with the daughters of the people who created the giants. The giants' parents were fallen angels. I hope you all enjoyed this video about King Bashan Og's book and some interesting facts about it. Please leave your thoughts about A's book in the comments section. Is it fake? Please leave your opinion. Thank you for watching another video in our series. God bless you and see you soon.